Hey guys, Lee from Glx Reviews here with yet another video. Thank you guys for coming back to the channel. Very exciting unboxing today. This one I've been looking forward to for quite some time. Haven't had any chance to grab this before, so happy I was able to finally grab it from Best Buy. So let's go ahead and unbox this thing. So for those who don't know, this is the PlayStation Portable. It's a portable device that PlayStation released a few months ago, I think like back in October or so, but it's been very hard to get one because scalpers have been purchasing these very quickly and then reselling them for a much higher price. So you may have seen it around in eBay or Amazon or whatever for a much higher price. So from actual stores, it was pretty much sold out the entire time. Now what this is actually it's a remote player. So I know I'm a little late to the party here. Again, just had quite a bit of difficulty obtaining this. So I had to wait quite a bit of time before I was able to finally unbox this. And the thing is, what this does is it isn't like a PSP or a Nintendo Switch. What it actually does is it mirrors your console to the device. Similar as to playing your device on your cell phone, for example, or your tablet. And I actually gotta say real quick that I'm really enjoying the unboxing experience. This actually feels very high quality. As you can see, it had like its own little box, sleeve, and then you remove it. Very high quality compared to the actual PS5 unboxing, which is actually pretty interesting. Anyway, so as you'll probably notice here once I unbox it, what this does is you can actually play your device anywhere as long as you have internet connection. So that's very important. So let's see what we have here real quick before we unbox the device. So I believe these are just the charging cable. So pretty straightforward. Now it is USB-C to USB-C, which is pretty interesting. I know most computers nowadays already have USB-C, but if you have an older laptop which doesn't, you may need to get a converter or something. So USB-C to USB-A converter. So let's unbox the actual device. Here we go. And then, is there anything towards the bottom? I think it's just the instruction manual, and that's it. So let's keep that there, not too important. So let's put that there to the side. So here we have it. So let's see what we have here. Now, as you probably saw in the image, for those who haven't seen the PlayStation Portable, which I think is pretty rare at this point, it's just like if you split a PS5 controller in half and then slapped a tablet screen or Nintendo Switch screen right in the middle. So that's pretty much what this device is. So let's do a quick close-up as usual. Let me get my camera to focus here. There we go. So very nice quality. Now, one thing I do notice is the thumbsticks are much smaller compared to the regular DualShock controller. Buttons feel nice and clicky, and the D-pad feels just as good as the actual PS5 controller, which is really nice. And we have all the buttons, and then up at the top we have the power button, and then we also have another button. Not sure what that is. Haven't seen that icon before. Let me see if I can get my camera to focus so you guys can see it. It's gonna be a little bit harder for some reason. There you go. So it's like two little arrows or two V's. There, so I'm not sure what that's about. We'll see that a little bit later. And then we have the plus and minus for the volume control. So that's pretty much it. And then we also have the regular triggers. And then let's take a look at the back of the device. Pretty straightforward. Nothing special going on. All right, so let's go ahead and remove the protective covering here. Let's see what the screen looks like. Ooh, look at that. That is nice and shiny. Very good quality. I believe feels kind of plasticky. Not sure if this is actual glass. It almost feels like an AdBat screen. So I believe it may be glass because it's pretty shiny, but who knows? It may be plastic. If it is, I may try to grab some sort of protective covering or something for the screen if it does exist, but we'll see how that handles. I don't think I've ever seen anyone purchase it from the different images I've seen, but that's pretty much the gist of it. So let's go ahead and try to turn this on. Let's see if I can do so. I think the battery, oh, never mind, there it is. Alrighty, so let's see if we can go through the initial setup. I may have to skip some of this in editing, because of course it'll show my my Wi-Fi and all of that, which I don't want that publicly shared. So I may have to skip a few steps here. Alright guys, so went ahead and completed the initial setup. Right now it's connecting to my PlayStation 5, and there you go. Ooh, okay, that looks very nice. So right now, at least just in the menu, let me probably get a little bit of a close-up here. So right now in the menu, it actually feels very responsive. I don't feel any sort of delay, which is pretty much also the case when I play the through the PlayStation Play or the PS Play app on my phone. So it's nice. Now let's see, so I've got Hellblade booted up here. Let's see if we can go ahead and test how that works. Camera feels responsive. She also feels responsive while moving. And I also feel like the attacks are responsive, so I don't feel any sort of delay. Not sure if it has received any sort of updates since the most recent reviews came out, maybe about a month or two ago. So I don't feel any sort of delay. Now, of course, again, I do have quite a bit invested in my overall network, so that probably is helping quite a bit. So make sure that if you do get this, you do have a pretty good router, pretty good connection speed, and everything, so that you get the most out of it. I'll need to do additional testing, so what I'll do is I'll probably do a follow-up once I get to mess around with it a little bit more, and then compare it to something on the Razer Kishi. I know another popular one is the Backbone. That one I unfortunately do not have, so I can't compare it to that. But I will be able to compare it to the Razer Kishi, which I've used quite a bit, and I will continue to use, especially since I also do have Xbox Game Pass, which I do tend to use quite a bit through my phone as well, to play remotely. But other than that, so far I'm enjoying it. It feels really nice. It's really bulky. It's definitely much bigger than the Nintendo Switch. And the controls are obviously a lot bulkier. I'm a fan of the DualShock controller. So, or not the DualShock, actually I think I've said DualShock throughout the video. The DualSense controller, that's what I meant. But the DualSense controller is actually very comfortable for me. So I enjoyed it, and I actually do like that that's exactly what it feels like when playing this. Again, the buttons feel nice and clicky, pretty responsive. I'm not sure how well it looks there on the camera screen, but in person it actually looks amazing. It actually looks really good. It looks really nice and crisp. I'll need to see what it looks like when playing something a little bit more intense, or maybe a more intense section, because I have read some people say that during intense sessions where there's like a lot of enemies, a lot of fast-paced action, that's usually when you may see the quality of the stream drop a bit, because again, this is streaming. Again, I gotta emphasize that this is not like a PSP or anything. It's actually a streaming device. So make sure you actually need this, should you get it. Again, I'll need to do a little bit more testing to see if it is worth it, but I gotta say that if you are able to play on your TV screen, you don't have any children, don't plan on traveling, you have access to the TV anytime you want, and would probably prefer that, this device is not for you. This is more if you do want something to be able to maybe, move around the house, play on while laying in bed, maybe watch some TV, maybe, your girlfriend, boyfriend, children want to watch the TV and it's in the main room and you don't want to have to move your PlayStation around or anything like that. This will definitely help. Besides that, may not be as useful. Also could be useful again if you want to travel somewhere. Maybe you visit family or you get to travel for work. As long as you have a good internet connection. I have read some people have good success by using their internet's hotspot, their phone's hotspot. That could work. You just gotta make sure you have one, really good data available and a good connection speed. Be careful though with the hotspot, because if you don't have unlimited data, I have read as well that it does take up quite a bit of data, so be careful with that. On that, I'll make a follow-up video again comparing it to something like the Razer Kishi or the Backbone and what my experience has been with it overall. But so far, my initial impressions are really good. All the buttons are nice and responsive. And gotta say, oh, actually, one other thing before I do wrap up the video. So yes, the touchpad does seem to be based on the touch screen here. So that's one thing. And then you are able to open up an additional menu here, as you can see, where you can disconnect. And then the two arrows I was a little confused about earlier are actually part of the PS Link headset. So if you do have that, which again, this pretty much you need it because you cannot connect any Bluetooth devices to this, unfortunately, unless you do have something like a headset with a headphone jack, which you can hopefully see here. I know it's a little bit dark, but it is there. So if you do have something with like an aux jack, you can use that. That'll work perfectly fine, but you cannot connect Bluetooth headsets that are not the official PlayStation ones. That's definitely a con. It almost feels like an Apple device, and I have heard that mentioned in other reviews, and I gotta say I agree. This almost feels like an Apple device because you do need to use Apple peripherals, for example. In this case, you gotta use PlayStation peripherals specifically to be able to get it to work correctly. So definitely not a good thing, but it is what it is. Hopefully they revise that for future iterations if they do decide to release a V2 version of this device. Other than that, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you plan on getting one if you don't have one already? If you do have one, what are your thoughts so far? Do you enjoy it? Do you regret getting it? Let me know in the comment section below. Looking forward to reading everyone's opinions. Other than that, guys, see you in the next one. Take care.